And so now, let's talk about a submission on the near side, okay? So right here, I'm going to come up, I'm gonna lock in this arm, I'm gonna hold it right here, all right? And so now I can get this Americana, so another shoulder lock on the near side arm. So I'm gonna pull through. And oftentimes he's gonna get desperate and it's gonna lead into a sweep, but regardless, it's very powerful and there's a submission that he needs to be aware of here. If he's not aware of it here, I'm gonna get that submission, right? So regardless where he's posting his arms or his hands or whatnot, if I can get to this overhook, he's thinking, dude, I got the underhook, that's what I'm supposed to have. But now I can manipulate it here right into this submission. All right, so now I'm gonna show it from straight ahead. All right, so he's playing smart. So I'm gonna grab him right here, slip that through, get right to my Kimura, okay? And then of course I can try to, like we're battling it out right here, I can make him post. Like he's already has his hands on the mat. He should know better. He should know to never have his hands on the mat, so I can force him to get his hand on the mat. If I can force him to get his hand on the mat, let's try that again, right? So like, let's say I just bump, then I'm gonna grab this. And then now it's a matter of pushing his head, getting into his Kimura, and finishing, okay? Now, let's say he's too good for that. He's like, this isn't happening. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to wrestle up. As I wrestle up, he knows I need the underhook that we talked about earlier. So he's gonna battle me for that underhook to push me back to the mat or do something. So I'm gonna fall back and I'm gonna get my underhook. Now, his elbow's behind me right now. So all I need to do is get that elbow in front of me and keep this tight. And then I'm going to extend my hips as I pull this to get this submission. And there's a lot of fancy ways people like to do this. It doesn't really matter. As long as you get your hands connected, he's gonna be using this hand to oftentimes try to fight that, but I should be strong here. If this hand's not here, then he can push it down and get his arm free. So all I'm basically doing is protecting this hand from getting pushed down, right? And that's why some people will probably get in here and you get that submission. And what I'm trying to do again is I'm trying to extend him away from his shoulder and get that Americana. So now we have two shoulder joint submissions from either side. This one being a Kimura, this one being an Americana, and they're both kind of modified, right? Mm-hmm. This one especially. So now let me show it from that angle. So come through, see how my leg kick past, and so now this is a risk, remember, because now my upper body and my lower body aren't working together, but it's in order to lock down his upper body so he can't use his upper body, and then I'm coming through right here. Again, this can like hook around to get like some sort of lockdown. A lot of people will switch this and do all these fancy lockdown things. I just typically either push or cross as long as this hip isn't moving. Right? And I finish that. Now, on the other side is I kind of wrestle up and I get this. You see how his elbow's on this side, so I don't have anything. So I get the elbow on the front side and I can get that submission. And what's really cool about this is I'll just kind of go into it. Let's say I have this and I start to get this, but he's smart, so he starts to straighten his arm right here. I can still get this arm bar right here by just extending, boom, this arm bar. Okay?